Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. Today with Katharina, with Suchada and Navasit. We'll talk about dreams today.
Okay. Good morning. So my question is, what are dreams and how important are they in our lives?
We can say generally that the dream is another layer of consciousness that help us to cope with our physical life. And I will quickly share a few pictures with you that might help you to understand this better. Now, just wait a second. I should go back to this one here. So we have different brainwave states. Like this is beta, is when we are awake, normal consciousness, and you see this is quite fast. Brainwaves are really going fast. Then when we go into further down, we go in a calm, extremely aware and alert. This is like daydreaming. You know, when you kind of just, or for example, if you're in a movie and you really kind of start to float into the movie, or if you read a good book and then the telephone rings, you suddenly, oh my God, and you have to come back from where you have been into the awake and normal consciousness. And then we go a little bit further down, which is the alpha brainwave. This is then also the meditation state. So generally, if you go into a meditation, you go into a relaxed state of alpha. And then we go into theta, the deep relaxation. That is also the transition into sleep. But when we are sleeping, it is not always that we are in the deep and dreamless sleep. We go up and down, a little bit up and down. And we can say when we are coming up to that peak, we are touching the theta, where we also dream. And we can see that the rapid eye movement, when you look at somebody that they are dreaming, you can see that the eyes are moving. So in this picture, we have also the different, like the gamma, involved in higher processing tasks as well as cognitive function. So this is a higher consciousness. Then we have beta, we talked about that. We have alpha, theta, and delta. So this is like the different brainwave that we are going up and down. And we can say that this is the higher intelligence. That when we kind of like inspiration, when we go into an inspirative, that happens often when you are doing art. Like you have that inspiration, that coming in of very fast information to help you to manage something, or to, you know, that kind of moment that you have like a help, you know, like you go somewhere and you maybe have a question and suddenly the answer is here. You can see here when we look at the power, at the 40 hertz power, actually, when we are dreaming, you can see that different. When we are in a REM cycle, this is how the brain looks. This is when we usually dream. And lucid dreaming and wake is different. So lucid dreaming is actually when you are conscious that you dream.
Conscious.
You are aware that you are dreaming.
So and it means that
the lucid dreaming is more or less really having an experience with this spirit body within you in another dimension. And this is what we also can talk about, that afterwards I will explain more about this.
Yeah, I just recently heard about the lucid dream, you know, like it's a training for lucid dream.
Yes, exactly. You can learn how to do that. Yeah. Because lucid dreaming is that you are very conscious and you consciously go into another state. Like, for example, when you die, you leave this physical body and you are conscious. And when you go to sleep, is the opposite. You go in a same different state of consciousness, but the silver cord is still connected to your body. And when you come back into the heavier and denser energies, you usually forget the dreams. But also the more you raise your vibration, the more you start to remember dreams. Now, so-called normal dreams that generally people have are to help you to handle life better, to digest and to process things that you cannot in the active brainwave of beta when you are awake. Can you imagine that when you go somewhere, there are millions of things happening around you? Just imagine you're in a city, in a shopping mall, whatever. There are so many things you cannot be aware of everything what's going on. So this is kind of moving into a subconscious state. And all of this noise and all of that stuff is processed in dreams, and we don't need to know about it. It's not important. Then there is another kind of dream that we receive messages. Like we receive a message in form of a symbol. So there are books about dream symbols that you can buy, that you can find online, a lot of information too now today. Like you dream, what does that mean? If you go on the road and you see a house or whatever it is, there are many, many symbols that are into your life. For example, I give you one. When you dream about somebody dying, and this is usually not that somebody dies, but that is like an end of something that you move into something new. Okay. Like, for example, if you experience that you die or somebody else is dying that is very close to you, that is a message of change. The message in a dream that somebody really physically dies is very often something like this. Like you see a train with different wagons, and the train is losing one wagon. So that is, for example, a message that a family member dies. Okay. Or if you drive in a bus and somebody is getting out of the bus, this is also like family. But it's just a little sample to give you, because it's very difficult to understand dream. So we need other ways to be able to understand dreams. And the third one is the lucid dreaming. There are many, many in between. But lucid dreaming is something that you can learn, and you can learn to influence your dreams. But Suchada, you have a question there, yeah. I see.
Yes, I was about to, have find a space to cut in. Recently, I dreamed a lot. I mean, there are lots of nights that I dream. I remember.
That you remember, okay.
Yeah, and some night I remember like lots of details. And when I remember the details, I know that it means something. And yes. Then after you taught me to to read the tarot cards, and then I will ask the card if I remember the details, and I will write down the details of the dream.
Yeah.
And then I ask the card what's the message of the dream.
Yeah.
And it will give me the answer, and then I will start to ask some details of the dream, like, okay, if I saw someone, I mean, or some event, what is this event?
Yeah.
What is the message of this event? And then I can get into the details of the topic. And it helps me to understand the path that I'm on right now.
Mm-hmm. This is very good.
It's very good. It's very good.
This is actually something I often recommend, that when you dream a lot, that you use some kind of oracle, like a card or something, or go and look in a dream symbol book what it means, because Sometimes it's very subtle, and it depends also on the person and what. It can even depend on how you eat in the evening. If you eat heavy food and you have a difficult stomach problem, the dreams might be heavier.
Oh.
So it is very important that the dreams that you clearly remember, that you look at. But dreams that you don't remember, just let it go. I was having a dream diary for many years, and I was waking up in the morning and I was with the old typewriter still, you know, kind of typing my dreams. I had a whole big folder full of dreams. But it was kind of very often not clear, or even if it was like something that I realized I dreamt for a long time, it come true, but you know, it's so long back, and I didn't go back into my dream diaries and look it all up. So it became too bothersome for me, and I made actually a suggestion. So you remember I told you, I think about the alpha state. When you go into alpha state, you can put your fingers together, like the 3 fingers here, and you say that I want to remember the important dreams in the morning. And all the others I don't. And that's what I did. And I did not remember many dreams anymore. But when I remember dreams, I know they're important. And then I work with it and look at it. So, for example, also at that time, I read some dream books, and there was one lady, and this is a very good sample to understand. And she was going to work with her bicycle, and she had a flat tire. And she did learn how to repair the flat tire in the dream, actually. Because then she had, before that, she was dreaming all the time, and she went to work with her bicycle and had a flat tire and couldn't go on anymore. And that dream repeated many times. So she went in the physical life where she physically went with the bicycle. She went to learn how to fix the tire. And she said now she programmed herself that in this dream she will remember how to fix the tire, and she could do it. And then the dream went on, and she had the revelation in the dream. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was that tire that held her back to completely understand the dream. So we can really program or help to get into the dream. So what I do also very often, again, I go in alpha state, I put my fingers together, I say, I have this and this problem, I need answers to a solution to this or that. In the morning, I put my fingers again in alpha state, tell me what it is. And then very often I remember maybe a fragment. But then when I go into it, or I also use my oracle cards, what it is, then I get clear answers. So dreams are very powerful. But most of them, and you have many, many more dreams, generally about 8 to 10 dream cycles a night, that are just to help you to digest all the life, the noise of the life outside, to keep you healthy. And if people are deprived of sleep, like they did tests that they wake up people the moment they saw the rapid eye movement, when the people start to dream, they wake them up. And they wake them up many, many times, they go insane. So dreams are very, very important for our life, and we need to have a certain time of quiet sleep to have the dreams to go all the way down into the theta waves. So people who are sleeping not well, waking up all the time, and have interrupted sleep patterns, they get sick.
Oh, okay. So it means that when we have a dream, it means that we have a deep sleep?
Not generally, because very often those lucid dreams are just shortly before you wake up in the morning.
Oh, okay.
If you have experienced that sometimes when you wake up in the morning, it's just like coming out of a dream, and you have, if you want to keep that, you have to program yourself to keep it. And whatever you do, I just do this with the fingers, because I have my fingers with me all the time, so it's very easy to do it, you know. So I put my fingers together, hold on, what is it what you want to tell me? And then I just try to really calm and stay in a meditative state, that I get the message. And everybody dreams, even if people say, oh, I never dreamed, they do, but they don't know, and that's fine. You don't have to.
I have my next question. Over the years, I would have dreamed that I stuck in either train station or in the airport with like very crowded, very chaotic, and I felt very, you know, hurried all the time. But recently, that was the dreams that I had for years, you know, like occasionally.
Yes.
But recently, something's changed in this scenario, or that I stuck in the airport. Because before I would feel like I almost missed the flight, but this time I missed the flight, and then there's something's going on. So my question is, dreams, do they reflect our subconscious or superconscious in some way?
It's both. The subconscious and the superconscious are connected. It's just two different ways how to access, we can say, your higher self. See, that's sometimes you can go up or you can go down, you can speed up or you can slow down. In a way, it's both a way that you can reach a different consciousness level. So the travel dreams are actually very common. A lot of people, they have, like, they missed the train, or they have a too heavy suitcase that they cannot go forward and stuff like that. This is always meant to tell you that you're either on the wrong path and you finally missed that plane because you're not supposed to be on that plane. And then that means in life you have to give up something. Like in life, there is still something that is in your daily habit or daily life, or it can be together. For example, if you are torn apart, like you come to the airport or so with somebody else and you lose that person catch the flight and you don't. These are always signs that something in your life you have to reconsider. And it's just a difference. Like, for example, people dream more like airport, and 50 years ago they dream more like train station, because that was a more obvious transportation. But it's like this, when you say, when your dreams become more solid and change, you miss that plane, then that is a very clear answer that this is something that is not for you. You remember that there are many times, every time when we have a plane crash somewhere, there are always people telling that they just missed that plane, or they got in a car accident to miss the plane, or whatever. Really crazy stories sometimes. And then they are very grateful that they missed the plane because an accident happened, or the bus or the train. It doesn't matter what it is, it's the same. And I have had the same experience myself, that I was called to a telephone call when I just was about to leave. We didn't have mobile phone then yet, and I was already on the way to the car. I had to go back into the building and take that telephone. It was not really important. I was really annoyed. And then I drove the car, and there was suddenly, I came to the freeway. It was winter, it was November, and it was heavy fog. And on that highway, because there was sometimes really heavy fog, and they had a mass collision of 60 cars. And I would have been in the middle of it if I would have gone 5-10 minutes earlier.
Oh.
So this is similar in the dreams, like that something shows you that you should not go, like, and I have learned at that time now that I'm grateful if I have to go back for the telephone or whatever it is, I'm not being angry anymore. I said, okay, it has a reason. I have to go 5 minutes later. So things
So how
is
can-
also a warning that you are at the right time, at the right place.
And how can we use dreams to help us in our life?
As I said, there is many dreams that help already, that you don't need to do anything, but make sure that you have enough sleep that these dream phases can happen. This is very important. Then the second thing is, like, when you have dreams that you remember, as you told me before, that you draw a card of the tarot or whatever you do to get the message, do it. Understand the message and look for it. Another thing is, again, try to program yourself when you go to sleep. Please make me remember the dreams that I need to remember in the morning when I wake up. And the best is to have a little notebook beside your bed. Don't have your phone. That's not a good energy. Not yet. We have to wait for Starlink. So it's not good to have this electromagnetic frequency in your bedroom, if avoidable. So just make a couple notes, and then, you know, when you have notes, to remember, then when you go and sit down quiet for a moment, you look at the notes, usually things come back. And if they don't, just draw a card and ask, what does this dream want to tell me? And then you know. Or if you like what I did, I was very fascinated. I studied dream symbols, and it was very interesting to see. Today, I know that these symbols are the same symbols outside as they are in the dreams, you know, that you see, like, simple example. If you see, for example, suddenly in front of you a number with double digits, like 1111 or something like that, numbers that give you a message. Many things in life, symbols, they give you messages. And the more you are awake and aware, the more you can see them.
So if for someone who did not learn to read the tarot cards, how do you recommend they find the interpretation of the dreams?
Well, go and buy a book on dream symbols.
Oh, okay.
You know, this is relatively easy to learn, and or get angel cards or something which is not connected. Like the tarot, the way I use it is a path of initiation. It's not like reading fortune or whatever, but there are many cards, like you can ask angel cards, for example. They give you a very clear answer. Sometimes you have to be more careful, or you have to take care of your body, or whatever it is, you know. There are many messages. I think if somebody is not very keen to study or learn something like that, get them very simple, and I would recommend some angel cards or something like that, so they can ask the cards, what does the dream message is for them. So dreams are important. They're very important. And this is why it is so difficult that when people have problems with sleeping and their dreams cannot take place when they are awakened all the time. And I don't know, I have that experience very strongly. I have some nights that I wake up 3-4 times through some noise, you know, suddenly something happened, and motorbike come very loud, or, you know, stuff like that, that I'm really kind of torn out. And sometimes it's really like I'm in a dream, and I come from somewhere. I really know that. And I feel that my heart is going like crazy, bang, bang, bang. And I can really need to consciously breathe to calm down, and often have a problem to go back to sleep, because it seems that I'm very, very far away. And I come sometimes with glimpses of experience that looks like parallel lives. So it is very possible that in this dream state, because our life here in the physical realm is not the only life we have many others. So it is very possible. There is one guy who had a dream about the butterfly. He asked afterwards, am I a butterfly dreaming I'm a human? Or am I a human dreaming I'm a butterfly? So this is the question actually that you can have. Like, for example, I count like sick, for example, I'm awake, say 14 hours or whatever, and then I go to sleep. But maybe when I go to sleep, a dream in physical time might be only 2 minutes, but I live a half of a lifetime because time is not relevant. So whatever glimpses you have into these glitches that you move out of your body, they give you messages, and especially sometimes they are very clear and reoccurring dreams. Like, for example, I had often a dream I went into a house and I absolutely knew the house, but I don't know it in this lifetime. But I had several dreams when I went into this house and was interacted with people I knew. But when I came here, I neither knew the people, nor the house, nor the village or whatever it was where I was.
Your true home, maybe.
Yeah, no, this is really true that we have different lifetimes. Like, you know, what the multidimensional souls that we are, that it can be that parallel lives in parallel realities are happening at the same time, because again, time does not exist.
Yeah.
So I
how
think
can
also the higher you go in your consciousness, the more of overlapping is coming into your consciousness to make you more transparent.
So how can dream helps us on the spiritual path or on the soul journey?
That is again the same thing. When you are on a soul journey, consciously on a spiritual path, that you want to move forward, you can program yourself. When you go to bed, you can connect with your higher self. You say, I'm now surrendering my body to go in different realms. Please guide me and let me know in the morning when I wake up what I need to know. So you might wake up with a very clear situation. For example, I need to quit my job. I cannot work there anymore. Or I need to call this person because somehow this person has an information for me. Or I need to go and buy a certain food. I need that for my health. That you get very clear information about things that you have to do that will guide you forward. You know, guidance, spiritual guidance comes in many ways. It can be even like you sit in a restaurant and somebody else says something on another table that you need to hear. But if you start to program yourself to read some information through your dreams, it will happen because you make it happen. It's your intention. It is my intention to get all the information that I need to know through my dreams and remember in the morning.
Okay.
Remember everything. We are very, very high evolved beings on the highest level of who we are. And human is just a fraction of who we are. We are much more. So the more it is our intention to reconnect with the bigger who we are, it will happen. If you have no intention, just live your life and watch TV and have fun, and so it's okay, then go ahead. But the moment you become aware and you consciously reconnect through intention, it will happen, and you can use your dreams to move forward.
So when we have some dreams, this is my understanding, so I'm gonna share with you, but I don't know if it the right understanding or not. I understand that like all these dreams that I've been having, I ask the card for the message. Sometimes it says that I'm still stuck in some, materials achievement, like the achievement that I already achieved. I'm still stuck. And I dream something, and the card said I'm still stuck in those achievements. In my real life, do I need to work on something, or that dream is already working on the subconscious level?
Yeah.
You
Yes,
understand my question?
It's both, Suchada. You are working in the dream level, in the dream state, on digesting some stuff, of releasing or learning, whatever it is what you do. But you also, if you help on the physical level and do certain things, you go faster.
Oh.
You can combine it, like the moment you come into, but you wake up in the morning, you come into the more crazy brain waves of the beta consciousness, but you might remember, and you take your time. For example, I had a friend, he had his telephone make like with the Tibetan gong, bing, every 1 hour. And he took the time every 1 hour, just a couple of minutes, just to sit down for a moment and reconnect with spirit, reconnect with your higher self, something. He didn't do much, but he just said, reconnected with my spiritual self, guide me. So when you give that intention again and again and again and again, you know exactly what you have to do, because you're always connected. And maybe one time you don't need the remembrance anymore, like we don't need to sit and meditate for hours anymore now, because the energy around us has shifted. The old ways in that don't work anymore. We don't need to use old ways we used in the 80s, 60s, 70s, whatever back there, because the energy that we live in the moment is different, and all the old stuff does not work anymore. So this is why also the whole new age is crashing now, because it's not working anymore. So dreams are important. Yes, pay attention. When you get a message and you can do something about it in your physical life, in your daily physical life, do it. If you get a message from the cards that you see very clear, I'm stuck somewhere, look at it. Look why you're still stuck, what you still carry around. And this will be the dreams that very often happen, that people cannot reach a train because they carry a too heavy backpack or suitcase or whatever. That means that you carry too much with you, that you cannot reach the train that you need to go on, or the plane, or whatever it is. And sometimes when you just run and just miss it, then it's maybe not the right train to take. So look in your life, look around, what is it that you really, and you will feel it, that this is not for you anymore.
Wow.
Very interesting.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Any more?
You have more questions, Navasit?
That's enough for me.
Okay. Yes, very good. Okay, so thank you for your questions. That was an interesting discussion today. And for those who watch it on YouTube or Brighteon, please like and share. And I see you next week.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.